Coming up,
I've got a really feral one for you. He was trying to lick their whilst they were asleep.
what?
The neighbour, you know.
I feel like that's a fantasy or a porno.
I love the neighbour thing.
I think the only time I've ever cheated in my life, I was like 15 on holiday. And my mum caught me stalking a bar guy. As she did.
Oh my God, we've all been there.
They were literally like, once a cheater, always a cheater. So recently we've been talking about bad dates and cheating. And you know what? We have had so many messages from all of you, and there are some wild stories in there.
Give me a cheating one. Give me a story about cheating.
So my sister's going out with a guy for 4 years. They're living together in his house. Long story short, she finds out he's been cheating. He denies everything and still does, but sisters are professional finder-outer investigators, and if a sister detects someone is cheating, we'll go to any lengths to find out the evidence. Fair play.
Ooh.
So, he's a cheater. Okay, awful. She has to move out of the house. My parents come to help her, and they're taking the last of the boxes of her stuff out. My dad lags back in the house for a bit, and then when we're in the car driving away, Dad says, "Good luck figuring that out, mate. Karma's a bitch." My dad had stayed in the house and snipped the wiring to his Wi-Fi and electricity and punctured his bike as a last punch of revenge. Irish dads are the best. What a legend.
I love that. That's such good dad energy.
That is brilliant.
And great. We love dad. We love dad.
That is so good. But also, I'm not really one to sit and do that. Like, I don't.
Oh, I am.
Are you?
100%. And I'm the one to do the drive-by. Hood
That's so
up,
funny.
looking like a roadman, and I'm 100% driving by. I actually did it not so long ago with a friend, and she's like, calls me, and she's like, "Do you want to go on an investigator trip?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, let me get dressed. I pulled up across the road, we watched him, and then she's like, pull up next to him, and I was like, oh my God, I'm actually gonna do it. She was like, I was like, "Are you sure about this?" She was like, "Yeah." And I literally I whizzed into this pub car park, pulled right up next to him, and she flung out of the car. And I was like, oh my God. She was like taking her hoops out. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe we're doing this.
What happens when you take your hoops out?
It's because you're going to fight.
Oh my God,
She
was there a
didn't,
fight?
but just in case.
Gosh, that's
I always
super
say, so look,
dramatic.
it's not the girl's fault.
No.
It's this dude's fault. He's a
So, obviously, that's horrendous, but also good, like very brave of you.
what, to drive?
I'm
Well,
such
I was just
I'm
a
such a
driver.
pussy.
I was just the driver. I wasn't getting out of the car, was I? I was just like, woo. I've got a really feral one for you. This person woke up in the middle of the night with a guy next to them after they'd had sex, and he was trying to lick their whilst they were asleep.
What? Like an animal?
Like a lot of licking, it says in brackets. A lot of licking.
What, literally going...
I mean, that for me is a little bit like unconsented.
Yeah, it is.
And that's not okay.
Ask first, at least.
I mean, also, if I woke up to that, I would not be okay.
I
That's an
think
ick.
I think I'd probably kick them. Someone tried to suck
that
my
is
toes
gross.
once and I just kicked them in the face.
That is honestly so gross.
Yeah, it's quite grim. I think I don't really know what you do about that one.
No, I don't either. I'd say probably not see that guy again, to be honest.
I can't imagine they did. No.
It's not good.
Can you imagine? Do you know what was really crazy on the shout out on social? We got loads of the same kind of response, like different versions of the same story, right?
Yeah.
So it's usually either someone from the army or offshore, but here's one. The guy said, got off work early to surprise my ex with a date night, walked in and found her, the neighbour, on the sofa.
The neighbour, you know.
I feel like that's a fantasy or a porno.
I love the neighbour thing.
No, but that is awful. That is actually awful.
Yeah, that is awful.
Women are just as bad as men with... In fact, I had more responses from men telling me about females cheating than women talking about men cheating on social.
It's actually massive. Like, I've known so many women who are in their 40s and they're cheating and leaving their husbands.
Because they just got married too young.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is.
Crazy. But imagine, that would scar you for life.
Yeah, like you're offshore. It's a really hard place to be.
Yeah.
And I think
Lonely.
people don't necessarily understand how difficult it is to work offshore, and then to come back and see that is horrific. And you're out here making, like, big money, so you can support this wife, and she's just banging the neighbour.
So gross, isn't it?
Ooh.
I really hope that.
What an idiot, though. You must know when your man's coming back from offshore. You've had 3 weeks, love.
Yeah.
Like, sort your out.
Yeah, fair. I really, really, really hope that he left her. Because what I hate is when you hear about these stories and they're like, oh, well, it only happened once. I'm like, no, mate. I think the only time I've ever cheated in my life, I was like 15 on holiday. And my mum caught me snogging a bar guy. As she did.
Oh my God, we've all been there.
We've all been there.
We've all snogged a Spanish bar guy.
My mum literally my mum and dad dragged me home by the scruff of my neck and made me feel so awful about it. And they were literally like, once a cheater, always a cheater. It gave me like this huge lecture. And like, I really, really worked because I'm not about that life.
Yeah, no, not about that life.
I think this one's quite funny, babe.
Go on.
So, went on a blind date, and I think I've actually had this happen to me. Went on a blind date, and they spent the entire time pitching their pyramid scheme.
Ew.
You know, when like someone works for Herbalife or something. And they're just trying to get you on board.
Oh God, that's actually horrific.
Yeah. Also, like, come on, get some better chat.
Oh, I know, but like we say this, but sometimes there's just people out there that just have no chat.
Thank you for sending in your stories. We absolutely love to hear it. Please keep them coming.